Diary, good evening. It is Monday, the 28th of January, and I'm about to discuss the smartwatch planning for our latest ultramarathon, which is only a few days away. As previously stated, we're about to undertake a 160-kilometre ultramarathon. And the issue with the marathon is mostly the fact that it's on the Cornish coastal path and it's unmarked except for the government signs. Normally when you do an ultramarathon or any kind of long distance sporting event, if you're lucky, the course is signed, meaning that every sort of 500 metres or even as little as 100 metres there'll be signage to show that you're on the right route. We attempted the course last year and failed, and the failure came from two weak points. Firstly, we got lost quite a few times, and secondly, I had totally the wrong shoes on, and in mud, the shoes didn't grip well, and I just couldn't run. So we're addressing one of the points, which is the route, and the routing has now become possibly much easier using some technology. So Garmin recently announced a new range of Phoenix watches, the Plus range, and what you see in front of you is my old Garmin 935. I say old, it's not that old, and the new entrants to the stable, which are a Garmin Phoenix 5S for small plus and a Garmin Phoenix 5 plus, and these two watches are different from the existing range, including my 925, in that they have quite a detailed base map on the watch itself. Now you might be thinking, in terms of routing and mapping, why don't you just use a smartphone? And basically that isn't going to work, and the reason why it's not going to work is you'd have to get your smartphone out, you'd have to unlock it, you'd have to get to the right point on the screen, you'd have to hold the smartphone and look at it. So if you can imagine having to do that several hundred times during a 30+ hour race, it just isn't feasible. Plus it might be raining and you probably have thick gloves on, so it's impossible to use a smartphone. You really have to use a watch for navigation, unless of course you're a local and you know the course, which we're not. So recently Garmin introduced the Plus range. They've got detailed base maps underneath a basic running activity, and that base map can show you the coastal path, we hope. And the idea is to have a track log, which all three of these watches can display, and the track log on this watch is presented on nothing, just a blank background, but on these two watches the track is presented on top of the detailed base map. So why does it make such a difference to use the detailed base map? Well, especially at night, you can come up to a turn or a junction, and it's often not exactly clear where you need to go to. It could be a little bit left, it could be a little bit right. And in such a case, you really don't know. And it can be a couple of minutes whilst you take the wrong route before you find out exactly that you're going in the wrong direction. So then you have to double back. And if you're within a group, we found out that, for example, it took us almost like 45-50 minutes to double back if some of the group went one way and we went the other way. So we hope that because we can see the underlying paths, we'll be able to correctly choose the exact places that we need to turn left and right with the GPX track log against the Garmin map. Now, there is another problem, which is why we've got three watches, there being two of us, which is that none of these watches last the actual amount of time that we need them to. So let's look at the chart. The chart shows me that the 935, by the way, in order to prolong the battery life, heart rate monitoring is off, GPS is on, Bluetooth is off, and Wi-Fi is off. And with those settings, you'll probably get about, let's say, a little bit over 15 hours for the 935. The 5 Plus, which is this guy with a bigger body and a bigger battery, is a little bit less than 18 hours claimed. And the 5S Plus, which is really slightly smaller than the 935, is less than or equal to 11 hours. So the problem is we need 36 hours, and how are we going to achieve that? Well, if we look at the charge times, we do have a cunning plan. So the 935 can charge at about 1% per minute. So a full charge takes under 100 minutes. The 5 Plus, the larger one, is charging at about 0.6% per minute, so a full charge is 161 minutes. And the 5S Plus, the smaller guy, is 0.65% per minute, so it's about 150 minutes. So the plan is, I'm going to be wearing this watch, and the garter will be oscillating between these two watches in the following way. I'll be wearing the 935, and hopefully we'll be able to get to the halfway point within 15 hours. If it is 18 hours as a backup plan, but let's suppose we get to it within 15 hours. At the halfway point, we can stash a bag. I've got a charger at the halfway point. I'm going to plug this watch in and I'm going to charge it. Meanwhile, Agatha's going to have the larger watch on to start off with, and if we're lucky, we'll get to the halfway point. If we're not so lucky, she'll stop using this watch and start using this watch. This watch can last 11 hours, and one of us will be carrying this charging brick. So we'll be carrying this 170 gram Anker charging brick with a Garmin cable, and this cable is very, very solidly inserted in here. It really won't come out. So let's assume this watch is spent. We then plug this watch in. It says it's charging, and then Agatha can put this combination into her pocket, and she can run with this watch. When this watch is fully recharged, I could take this watch, for example, and I could start charging this watch with the battery pack. So we think with the battery pack and 3 watches, we can just about make it. That's our plan. We've done extensive testing with the base map, and it really does make that difference. You can really see the coastal area. You can see the landscape as well, and we hope that's going to enable us to make as few navigational errors as possible. And I think that's one of the 2 factors that really caused us to fail in 2018. Okay, Dari, thanks for watching. Thanks, bye.